It's quite interesting for me that not every day you have your boss as your helper. Before I decided to become a diocesan priest, I was considered to be a Franciscan. I was with the Franciscans for 2 years, and during that time, I learned a lot of things about the Franciscan community. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for me to share that, since we have the biggest San Domino cross I have seen in this beautiful Irish parish. So this is the story goes like this. A Franciscan priest who used to say Mass for some nuns that were cloistered, he used to go there every weekend. And there was one specific nun that he liked, and everybody in the community liked. She would prepare the books for Mass, get ready the bread and the wine, and after Mass, she will always give a piece of candy to the priest. So everybody liked her. And those of us who went to a Catholic school will remember back in the days, it was really hard to find a good nun. But they liked her. And it happened that this nun got sick, and since everybody that liked her, they started to pray the rosary for her. They asked the priest to offer a holy hour, so he did that. And a couple of weeks after that, he went back to that church, and he saw the sister, the nun, there in the sacristy, like always, preparing everything for Mass. So he was really happy to see that she was back into work. And she approached to the nun and told her, "I'm so happy that you are here." And the sister says, And the priest was surprised, why is this sister not happy? I mean, we are all praying for her. And her answer was, "I was this close to meet God." Now, I know that some of us are going to meet God sooner than later. And I know that we are working really hard to get to the place. In today's gospel, we hear how Jesus shows a little bit of what heaven is going to look like for Peter, John, and Andrew. The perfect place, the place that there is no pain, the place there is no sadness, only joy. This is why Peter wants to stay there. He doesn't want to go back to the messy life. He wants to stay there in heaven with God. Now, in some way, we all experience this little piece of heaven in our lives. Let us remember the day that we were in the hospital and they told us, your son or your daughter has born. The day you hold her or him in your hands, that was your little heaven. Because from that day on, you have been working really hard to provide for your children. Or that day you got your house, your job, the day that you got married, or that day you're going to retire for some of us, looking forward for that. Those are little ways in which God has been blessing us since we were born until we're going to go and meet him. However, there is the tricky part of that, is that heaven is open for all of us, and all of us can go there. But all of us have to do the extra work. And what we can do is something so simple, Jesus has told us, is love one another as I love you, and your neighbor as yourself. Something so simple and easy to do. Love one another as I love you, and love your neighbor as yourself. And I know, brothers and sisters, that our neighbors sometimes are a real pain, but we have to pray for them and for us and show them God's mercy. And God will always guide us and always keep blessing us as we work building out his kingdom. So as we continue today's Mass, you are also going to see a little bit of heaven today, when the bread and the wine become the body and blood of Christ. Truly, the bread becomes his body, and the wine becomes his blood. And we eat and drink that, the strength that we need to keep fighting the good fight. So let us ask the Lord to give us those eyes of faith to be able to see him in the breaking of the bread and also in everyone that we meet today.